Hello friends! Happy Valentine's Day! I wanted to put out this video for you guys, especially for those of you that are feeling lonely on Valentine's Day. I know that Valentine's Day is a really tough day for a lot of people, whether you're single and seeking someone and you don't really have anybody, or whether you're with somebody, you have a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, and they can't be with you for some reason. I know many of my viewers have alcoholic spouses or significant others, which is my case. And even though the person might physically be present with you, that they may not be able to be there mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So it can be really, really lonely. Or maybe you're in a relationship that isn't quite so present, meaning that maybe you have a forbidden romance, or maybe the person is overseas in the military, and it can be really hard on Valentine's Day especially. I know some people try to play it off as like, oh, it's just a Hallmark holiday. You know, those companies just want to sell flowers and cards. But even though we might say that on the surface, you and I both know that it usually is something deeper. It's just a moment to take time with your significant other and reconnect and just do something nice for each other, spend some time together, and just dedicate one day to doing that. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing that on other occasions, but it can be really hard when you're going out and about your business and you have this lack of wholeness when it comes to your relationship, or like I said, if you're single and you're still seeking out somebody, or you're in a relationship where it's not fulfilled, or you don't feel like your partner wants to be with you on Valentine's Day. And that can be really hurtful when you're out at the grocery stores and you're seeing people buy flowers and cards and chocolates, and you see all this celebration going on in restaurants. And then that brings about that feeling of loneliness even more, and it's so painful. So what I want to say to you is that because I'm also affected by this, meaning that the choices that I've made for the relationship that I am in currently and have been in for quite some time lead me to this topic, because I had to really think about things today and put things into perspective. So for me, I got clarity today because it has been an ongoing thing where I feel alone and lonely on these major holiday events. No, it doesn't have to be Valentine's Day, but we're talking about Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries. And when you really feel like that person is not there for you or with you, even physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, whatever it is, but that person isn't there for you. And you can go in one of two ways. For me personally, I got a little upset this morning because of something that was said, and I let myself go there for a little bit. I've trained myself now not to let myself go there for very long, but to analyze the problem for what it is and to make decisions based on that specific problem. And so it's really important that you get crystal clear on what you desire in your relationships, or what you desire even for your day on Valentine's Day. It doesn't even have to be for the relationship. So if you know for certain that your significant other can't be there with you for any of those reasons, whether they're across seas, or whether it just can't happen right now, or whether they're a spouse maybe that is not super attentive to you and your needs, you can do something about that. What I like to do is I like to plan things on the day that really make me happy, whatever those may be. Now, I'm not completely alone. I have my 14-year-old son, and we're going to do some fun stuff tonight. And I decided to cook a special dessert, which I absolutely love, and I've never attempted this. It's a moelleux au chocolat, or a chocolate lava cake. I know the recipes are slightly different. The French recipe is a little bit different than the American recipe, but I'm going to try the French recipe and see if it works out well. And if not, tomorrow night I could always try the American recipe. But I'm going to try that, and that's something fun. I'm going to cook a dish that I haven't cooked for a long time and have fun with that. So definitely, I'm not going to sit around and sulk all day and decide to just wallow in self-pity, which is very easy to do on these occasions. What I learned from Unleash the Power Within and Tony Robbins this past summer, and I mentioned that in my previous video on overcoming winter blues or shaking off the winter blues, is that I always want to live in a beautiful state. What is a beautiful state? A beautiful state is not having self-pity, not saying, oh, woe to me. It's not saying, poor me, you know, I don't like the circumstances that I have, and being sad and stressed and angry and frustrated. It's really good to feel those feelings, but for a short duration of time. So definitely feel your feelings. Don't push them away. Feel them, because if you push them away, they always come back. But definitely feel your feelings, and then allow yourself to feel fully those feelings. Feel where they are in the body, feel where they are in the mind, soul, spirit, like feel those feelings completely, and then make a decision as to when you're going to let them go. But your feelings try to tell you something too, so analyze what's the issue here, what is the problem here, and what do I really, really want out of this situation? So if it's a relationship that you're having a really tough time trying to make a breakthrough at, like make some decisions on having that breakthrough. Or if you're single and you really want a relationship, make some decisions as to how you're going to go about getting that relationship. Whether it's working on self-care first, or getting online and doing some dating, or going out and meeting people, or going to a singles church group, or the synagogue, or wherever you go to worship. And just making that conscious choice to actually get out there and do something about it. Because if we let it ruminate in our head, and like Anthony Robbins says, if it's in your head, it's dead. Meaning that like, it's not going to be resolved if you stay completely in your head. It's only going to be resolved once you start to take action toward the attainment of your goals, toward the attainment of your destiny. And so it's easy to just sit around and wait for things to happen to you. But what you really need to do is go out there and make things happen for you and for your betterment. And that doesn't mean that if a spouse is, or a boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, so it doesn't mean that if they forget that it's Valentine's Day, they forget to get you flowers or a gift or chocolates or whatever it is that you would really desire, go out and do it for them. Like go out and buy them something and say, here, I just wanted you to have this too, as a token of my appreciation for you as a person and my love for you, and leave it at that. And then make your schedule, whatever it is that you want to do. So you could plan out a spa treatment, a massage, a night at the movies by yourself, or just grab a friend, or with your kids. There are so many things that you could do, or bake a special recipe like I'm going to do. And there are so many things that you could actually do to get yourself out of that state. And really, you can decide to get yourself out of that state literally in an instant. You can totally get yourself out of the state, get yourself out of that negative thinking, and move toward living in a beautiful state. Now, again, we're not talking about ignoring your feelings. Remember that. We're talking about processing the feelings and then making a decision as to what you want to do to change things for yourself. You obviously cannot change others, but you can change your present and your future by making different decisions as to what you're willing to have in your life and what you're not willing to have in your life. And it's just as easy as a decision and taking action toward its attainment. So it's really looking at that, moving forward. So I have a mother who really loves getting cards. She loves getting greeting cards for her birthday and for Mother's Day and everything. She adores greeting cards. Another thing is she really likes it when people pay attention to her on her birthday and like get her stuff and celebrate her birthday with her. And for years and years and years, she would always say, like we'd say, yeah, how old are you, Mom? And she's like, oh, I don't really remember because no one's ever with me to blow out the candles on my cake with me. So I don't know how old I am. And really that was her way of saying, like, I really wish that somebody would be with me on her birthday. Well, because of distance and miles, neither my sister nor I happened to be even near her birthday. But in the recent years, she's had this family get together with some sisters and cousins and extended family very close to her birthday, where she's able to celebrate her birthday with someone else, which is really nice, with a bunch of people actually, which is really nice. But instead of being like my mother and kind of waiting for that to happen, like plan things to happen. And so you're co-creating your own existence with God, with your higher self, with spirit. So you're really co-creating your existence so that you're not miserable. So you're not living in this downtrodden state. So you're living in a more peaceful state, in a more enlightened state. And really, it's just as easy as a decision. And I know a lot of times when you're feeling down or you're really feeling lonely, because believe me, I had that moment today where I was feeling kind of like, oh, this really sucks. Like, here I am, yet another holiday, spending it alone or with my kids, but like not with a significant other is what I actually meant. And yes, it's because of the choices that I made. And yes, it's because I really love this person. But I had to make the decision that, you know what, I'm not really sure that I actually want to spend any other holidays alone and birthdays and celebrations. I just don't want to do that anymore. Like, I've done it for several years. There's been ups and downs. There's been good times and bad times. But I just don't want to do it anymore. Like, I don't want to spend these days alone and not with a significant other. I don't want to do that. Now, does that mean that he'll transform because I don't want that? He might not necessarily. In my experience, when you try to force someone to change, they generally don't change. And, but does it mean that I might have to go out and seek another relationship? Maybe. I don't know at this point. But what I do know in my heart is that I've made the conscious choice, the conscious decision that I don't really like this feeling of spending this without a significant other. I just, it's not just today, it's pretty much most of the time. So, but it's kind of moments like these where you go into a deep reflection that you realize, you come to these realizations of how can I co-create my future? How can I co-create my destiny based on the feelings I'm feeling inside, the decisions that I'm making, and how can I take actions to move forward to that? All in all, it's not so bad to go into this deep state of reflection, even when you're feeling lonely, even when you're feeling sad and frustrated. It's actually a really good time to stop and reflect. And then go out and have some fun. Do something for yourself. Do something great for yourself and do something great for somebody else. It's a really good opportunity too to go out there and do something really nice for somebody else. And it makes you feel good inside. It makes them feel good inside. It lifts your mood. It releases serotonin and great neurochemicals in your brain. It makes you healthier, happier, and whole. It's also a great gesture just to bring together others. Good deeds, acts of good works are always fantastic and great. It could be something as simple as going to Starbucks and paying for the person's cup of coffee that's behind you. A total stranger that you don't even know. It's just such an amazing thing. And just say, you know what? I just wanted to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. This is just something that's coming from me that I just wanted to brighten your day. And that's all you need to do. And maybe you don't even need to say it. Maybe you just need to give your credit card or give $10 to the cashier and say, could you please just use this to pay for the person's beverage and treat that's behind me? So there are just so many ways you could do this, just to pass on the goodness that's inside of your heart, because I know there's a lot of goodness inside of your heart, like there's a lot of goodness inside my heart, but I'm giving you a great big virtual hug. There you go. That's for you. And I'm wishing you a beautiful, wonderful, and magical day. Go make your day happen. I know the day's half over, but you can still make it happen. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel below. Share this video with friends, family, and your Valentine dog or cat. Please support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/MichelleSFondin. And I will see you in the next video.